Hi, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Rise and Grind, where we give you quick business tips that will give you a better buzz than your morning coffee. As many of you know, today we are talking about social media. Ding, 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 ding. If I had graphics, they'd be popping up right now, right? Social media, woo! Who isn't talking about social media? I know. It's not that special, right? But we're going to be talking about something a little differently. I'm going to actually be talking to you guys about doing less social media. Whew, right? Isn't that what you want to hear? Less social media. Less social media to get more action and more engagement and more authentic response by doing less work. Sounds amazing? Stick with me, or it might sound impossible, right? Stick with me. For any of you that are new, my name is TanyaMFK, more easily and lovingly known as TanyaMFK. I just assume lovingly. I hope lovingly. I am a 16-year marketing junkie. I've been up the block, down the block, round the block. I've zigzagged the block. I'm still walking the block. It's been a long time in this industry of generalities, marketing, right? I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a sarcastic friend, smartass, and I'm also the founder of Build-A-Biz. So if it's your first time, welcome. And for my regulars, good morning. Nice to see you again, bright and early. So I guess we're just going to go ahead and jump right into this, right? So let's get into it. Social media. We know it's important. We love it. We hate it. It's 99% of our businesses. But as an entrepreneur, what do I really need? What do I really have to do? We've read all the reasons, why we should be on it. We've learned all kinds of tips and hacks. We have the hashtags and the mentions, the images, quippy captions, business accounts, and analytics. So we attempt to emulate our industry heroes and role models, and that makes sense. They're successful in our industry. We learn from them, so we model things after them. And they have Twitter accounts and Instagram and Facebook and Snapchat and maybe even a Google Plus still. I mean, for some people, it is a very viable thing still. Pinterest, WhatsApp, Bebo, it goes on and on and on, right? There's international lists. Like, you have no idea. You saw those graphics earlier. There's a lot. So what do? We start our business and we open the same 15 or more social media accounts, right? And as we do that, we go, okay, oh my God, what do I do with this? Well, the mistake that we tend to make is being half-assed everywhere for everyone. And what that means is that we take the one post and we post it to Twitter and to Facebook and to Instagram and to Pinterest, and we put it all everywhere. It's the same thing. And here's the thing. The people on those networks, the people who genuinely care about those networks, like being there, because let's be honest, the entrepreneur, a lot of times it's not even because you care about it. You just know you're supposed to do it, so you do it, right? Well, there's other people who actually enjoy being there, and they get how it works. They understand the nuances. They understand the type of post to expect. And when you show up in there on Instagram with your tweets, it's obvious. It's obvious to all of the people who care about and enjoy that platform. And it's transparent and everyone sees that it's exactly that. It's half-assed, right? So we can't do that. We can't be putting everything in the same place all the time. And it's not doing any benefit to us because everything has their own special style. It's not a one size fits all. So it's no good, right? But then the other side of the spectrum is we're doing amazing at Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. And we're just like, we're learning all the nuances and all the new fandangled things to do. And because of that, we have no time to develop our business because we're being so amazing. We have no time to plan for our sales or create a sales funnel or any new marketing because all we're doing is the social media aspect of our marketing. This too is a mistake, especially when we're starting out, guys. This is not what we want to do. So do you realize that if you are only part of 3 networks, and you do the bare minimum of posting once a day, that's still 21 unique posts to figure out every week. And you know what? Recommended posting, guys, is 2 to 3 times a day. And for Twitter, up to 6. Like, how many is that? That's over 100 unique posts a week. 100 unique posts a week. And if you look at the image up here, that's 6 right there, guys. That's 6 networks. So a lot of us are part of more networks than that. That's a lot of stuff to figure out, and especially to be unique. And the truth is, I don't have a team the size of Gary Vee or Marie Forleo yet. Those are the big leaders in my industry. And I don't have a social media manager to do it or figure it out for me, or even a social media assistant at this point. I'm fortunate enough to have my tech and design team to keep me sane and not breaking my computers, right? But we know there's value in it. We hear all the success stories, but that's a huge part of it, isn't it? We only hear the success stories from it. We don't hear the journey. And I have yet to hear a journey that says, I spent every waking moment on social media. I only promoted on every platform possible. And that is why I have a viable, trusted, reliable company. No. Anyone that you see everywhere is usually something super spammy or a product that even isn't that like fantastic. It's one of those low end kind of things that come in and come out, or someone else copies it and does a lot better, because being everywhere is not what pays the bills. Just being noticed is not what pays the bills. There's a lot better, more viable thing to pay attention to than that. And what it is it's better to be needed and appreciated by a small few than to be noticed by many. You'll see my little image here. It says, no matter how small you feel, you are an important person. And the truth is no matter how small you do feel, when you're working with your audience, there is someone that you are going to be important to. There is someone that is going to be paying attention, but you're not going to know that if you're too busy being everywhere else. You're not going to notice that if you're only paying attention to numbers and not to the people. So is it that bad to just be really good at one platform? To be good in one place, to pay attention to the few people and do all that you can for them? So when I was putting this together, it reminded me of this video, and it was actually a TED Talk. It's a really short one. It's from Derek Sivers, and it talks about the first follower. So give me just a minute here. We're actually going to go ahead and just watch this video because I think it really demonstrates a lot for us right now.
If you've learned a lot about leadership and making a movement, then let's watch a movement happen start to finish in under 3 minutes and dissect some lessons. First, of course, a leader needs the guts to stand alone and look ridiculous. But what he's doing is so simple, it's almost instructional. This is key. You must be easy to follow. Now here comes the first follower with a crucial role. He publicly shows everyone else how to follow. Notice how the leader embraces him as an equal. So it's not about the leader anymore, it's about them, plural. Notice how he's calling to his friends to join in. So it takes guts to be a first follower. You stand out and you brave ridicule yourself. Being a first follower is an underappreciated form of leadership. The first follower transforms a lone nut into a leader. If the leader is the flint, the first follower is the spark that really makes the fire. Now here's the second follower. This is a turning point. It's proof the first has done well. Now it's not a lone nut, and it's not 2 nuts. 3 is a crowd, and a crowd is news. A movement must be public. Make sure outsiders see more than just the leader. Everyone needs to see the followers, because new followers emulate followers, not the leader. Now here come 2 more people, then 3 more immediately. Now we've got momentum. This is the tipping point, and now we have a movement. As more people jump in, it's no longer risky. If they were on the fence before, there's no reason not to join in now. They won't stand out, they won't be ridiculed, and they will be part of the in crowd if they hurry. And over the next minute you'll see the rest who prefer to stay part of the crowd, because eventually they'd be ridiculed for not joining. And ladies and gentlemen, that is how a movement is made. So let's recap what we've learned. If you are a version of the shirtless dancing guy, all alone, Remember the importance of nurturing your first few followers as equals, making everything clearly about the movement, not you. Be public, be easy to follow. But the biggest lesson here, did you catch it? Leadership is overglorified. Yes, it started with the shirtless guy, and he'll get all the credit, but you saw what really happened. It was the first follower that transformed a lone nut into a leader. There's no movement without the first follower. See, we're told that we all need to be leaders, but that would be really ineffective. The best way to make a movement, if you really care, is to courageously follow and show others how to follow. When you find a lone nut doing something great, have the guts to be the first person to stand up and join in.
So seriously, how amazing was that? I saw this back in 2010 and it has always stuck with me. And you guys, this is your marketing plan. This is it right here. To nurture your small audience. Instead of searching to be for everywhere and just get those numbers of people, when you find those first few and you take care of them and you nurture them and you do all you can for them, you make a difference to them. You're missable to them, right? That's a word I'm making. Missable. Meaning when they notice when you're not around. They notice when the difference, when you're not able to be there for them or help them or be involved in whatever product or service that you can bring. This, guys, this is where the focus is. Because when we do this, you will organically grow. Just like that audience just built up and went crazy. That was less than 3 minutes, guys. That was a real time, real video, all of those things. 3 minutes, it went from one crazy nutty dancer guy to being the norm that people were missing out. Oh my gosh, I got to get there. Like someone figured it out. I just watched an interview recently and Seth Godin said, while I am very appreciative of my millionth follower, my millionth, client, if you will, I will always remember my first two. And it's so important. And you know what? Our first two will remember us. It's so important that we pay attention to those small numbers and we really take care of them first. That is where it is. But if you try to do all the social media networks and you're trying to be everyone for everyone and you're running, Han Solo style on your own, you're going to get burned out. And your social media presence is going to be clearly subpar. And once you grow and you have the hands to dedicate to your social media, then do it. Get on everything. There's a benefit to that for sure. But when you're first starting out, it's so much more important to find that one place that you can do and you can do it well and you can flourish. Okay? So I think that is the biggest lesson that I have for you today. That is where we do less to get more action. Because if you're half-assed on Twitter and you're half-assed on Instagram and you're half-assed on Facebook, then you're going to get half-assed responses. But if you're only on Instagram and you're killing it and you're crushing it and you're doing awesome and you're there and you're responding to everybody and you understand, you know all these people in your audience, everyone who's following you, you're going to be awesome. You're going to be amazing. You're going to see your Instagram audience grow. And that is more important than people wishy-washy on 10,000 platforms. So you're saying, okay, Tanya, I get it. I believe you. But which one do I choose? How do I know which one is the best? And the problem is, guys, is they're all really good. They all have their each uniqueness and dedicated followers and style. So yes, it is time for you right now to decide what's best for your specific business and social media purpose. So we've had fun. We've looked at some things, but I'm going to get a little classy right now. And no, I don't have a pair of pearls to throw on or some fancy tea to drink. I actually have some really good tea, but it's not fancy enough. But I'm not talking pearls. I am talking class style, guys. So get your pen, get your paper. I'm going to get into some statistics and numbers, and we're just going to review some of the top social media networks and what their real purposes are. And hopefully this will direct you to and help you choose which one is best for your business. So without further ado, get your pen, papers ready, and let's get started. So first I want to go over the grandfather we all know and love, Facebook, right? Facebook. We all are familiar with Facebook. So who's using Facebook? Well, the majority of users are 25 to 44, right? You'll see they're broken down. There's a first majority, second majority, but overall 25 to 44. Yes, there are people of ages outside of that, but the majority lies within this range. There are actually 2 billion, I know it says 1.94, it's 2 billion monthly active Facebook users worldwide. I think all of you who are Facebook users got a notice within the last couple weeks, maybe a month ago, that Facebook just reached 2 billion people. It's a lot of people, guys. So what's the point of it? What do we do? What's the reason for Facebook? Well, the reason that people are using it, and it's not business, but people are using it, is to keep in touch with friends and family. It's to share information, to have, personal life sharing. This is what's going on. Look at my kids, all this great time. And opinion sharing. If you're on Facebook, everyone knows all of their friends' opinions on everything, I'm sure at this point. And as a news source. It's actually in a lot of ways a news source. I'll be honest, I'm originally from California and, we get earthquakes. But you don't always know. You get so many sometimes that you're like, what was that, an earthquake, or was it just like a semi rolling by? It was really shaky. Or did something just, cat just bounce on the bed? And I wasn't sure. So the first thing I did without thinking was jump on Facebook. And sure enough, I saw my friend's post that said the same thing. Like, did anyone else feel that? Was that an earthquake? And, everyone in, yeah, of course, I felt it. I got it. Yeah, it was centered here, whatever. So news right there. I got my news from Facebook. I'm not saying it's always the safest place to get your news, but people use it as a news source, right? So what are some of the features of Facebook? Facebook has a lot of options to use for personal and businesses. So some of the things that you can use on Facebook are personal pages, okay? Obviously, we all have a personal page, but you also have public pages. So your public persona or place, business pages, very specific to your company. There's also Facebook Live, which is live broadcasts. I'm sure you may have seen some of it. Some of your friends at a concert or who knows, pedicures showing their Facebook Live. You also have Facebook Stories, which are posts that only last for a 24-hour period. And then you have Facebook Groups, which are both public and private. And then Messenger, where you guys, chat with your friends. You may or may not have noticed that they also host video and calls. So you can actually do face-to-face video in your Messenger and phone calls in your Messenger app. So it's really evolved. And there's also Messenger bots, which I'm super excited about right now. I've really been playing with those a lot. I made my first bot a couple weeks ago. And it also has an event platform. So if you have something where you need to invite people, you're setting an event, there is a system platform built into Facebook. So some benefits of using Facebook for your business is that it is the largest social media network in the world, right? Users can easily share and promote your content. It's a really easy platform for customer support, which is awesome. There's also the messenger bots. Messenger bots, again, can't go into this too full. They're a whole really lesson in themselves, but they can be used to alleviate some of your staff demand. They can actually do some things, that your staff can do, which is things even like assisting in reservations, appointments, and sales. If you have a salon, this is amazing for that. It's a lot more involved than just kind of the robotic chats that you see. It's really awesome. It's also a simple platform to manage groups, and it also has a highly targeted advertising ability. Now, the Facebook advertising platform does come with a pretty steep learning curve, which is why we actually do blueprint campaigns ourselves as a company. We offer those, and we even do classes to teach you how to do it, because if it's done incorrectly, it can be a very costly mistake. But they are worth it. When they're done right, they are so worth it. And you can really get an immediate return on investment for that. So if these types of things make sense for your business, if you have a reason for using groups, business pages, you can see this as a viable platform for customer support for your specific business, then Facebook is for you. You can see on the right there's also some best tips and practices. We're not going to go through all that right now, but you can go ahead and check this later, and you'll be able to check it in the cheat sheet that we'll be offering later as well. So after Facebook, what do we have? Oh, we have 500,000 Facebook likes every minute. So that's also another fun fact there. There's a lot of likes happening, guys. That's 500,000 every minute. So make sure your business is on there and getting some of those likes. So next we have LinkedIn. Down to business, right? LinkedIn, we know, is the big B2B, business to business platform, right? So who's using it? Well, a big majority of who's using LinkedIn is actually male, but it's 57%, right? So it's more than half, guys, but there's still a big chunk that are female users. Another part is the age demographic. A lot of it, 40 million, as it says here, are students and recent college grads. And 70% of them are outside the US. So it's a really strong global presence as well. There are a lot of users. You'll see there 467 million. And the main purpose is really, it's business. So business networking with other people in, doesn't have to necessarily be your industry. It can be your target market, and also for job searching, looking for jobs and industry news, very specific industry news, the stuff that's not necessarily going to come up through Facebook type of news, new manufacturers, new acquisitions, things like that, very specific new, even tools, all those things. It's really interesting to scroll through LinkedIn and see some of the real industry specific information that's coming through. So some of the features of being on LinkedIn and what LinkedIn has is very in-depth personal profiles. So where Facebook, we have, some life events and some pictures and stuff like that. In LinkedIn, you can really get into, what schools you went to, what languages you speak, what grades you got. I mean, you can get really in-depth with some of your ability and capabilities, achievements, all of those. You also have business profiles. So you have your personal, that's really about you, what you can do, what you've done, but then your business itself can also have a profile, just like Facebook, and it can post and share articles and even hire and do things like that. There are also LinkedIn groups. So these are people in similar industries or similar interests that can chat, and some of these groups have thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of participants, and tend to have a pretty high engagement for conversation, feedback, and whatnot. You also can get recommendations and endorsements. So if your clients are on LinkedIn and they've worked with you, they can actually write recommendations. They can endorse you saying, yes, I know that, Tanya is awesome at gabbing for hours on end. And it's true. I really am. So you can also even do SlideShare. That's another thing they have there, which is your presentations. Something such as what you guys are looking at right now, I can actually upload into LinkedIn and people can see that and see that I've done presentations and perhaps even reach out for me to do a presentation for them. So some benefits of being on LinkedIn. It is great, obviously, for business-to-business networking. It's not limited to that. It is certainly not limited to that. If you have a market that is specific to a certain, position or whatnot, it also can be for the individual. Maybe, it's particularly towards someone working in an industry, but not business. But it is definitely fantastic for business to business. Leads are really easily searchable by industry. So if you're looking for somebody who works in hospitality, if you're looking for people who work in, tech, this is a great place to be able to find them by industry. You can't do that really on Facebook. This is also a fantastic resource for staffing. As you said, everyone's looking for a job. So if you're looking for people to hire, there you go. Or even sourcing suppliers and manufacturers. That's another way you can search. So this is a great resource for that. A fantastic place to introduce new products or services you've developed, either for sales purposes or also for feedback. It has a very professional social presence and as a really simple advertising platform. I think my first time I advertised on LinkedIn, we threw something together in 10 or 15 minutes, which is unheard of on Facebook. So a really, really easy advertising platform. And even more exciting is they actually offer advertising credits often. So usually somewhere in the range of $20 to $50, which is amazing. So if you spend $60, essentially, you could really only spend $10 for $60 worth of advertising. That was a lot of numbers. But fact is, they give you a lot of free advertising. It's awesome. So if this makes sense for you, if you are in an industry specific thing, or you need to be able to have access to this type of platform, very professional, B2B or anything like that, this is the place for you guys. LinkedIn is your home, your new home. So make sure you check out the best tips and practices there and get acquainted to your new spot. So a fun fact for LinkedIn is that 41% of millionaires use LinkedIn. So that's just a nice little fun thing to do. So if your target market is millionaires, that might be the place for you. So going to the complete opposite end of the spectrum, right? We have Snapchat getting in with the young crowd, right? Who's using Snapchat? Well, 71% of Snapchat users are under 34 years old, and 70% of those under 34-year-olds are female. They have 300 million monthly active users, so it's still a lot of people on Snapchat, guys. And the main purpose is to post content that disappears in 24 hours. It's, really quick, information there. And there's a lot of visual chats. People give a lot of in-the-moment updates and real-time coverage of things happening because, when else can you do it? It's going to disappear in 24 hours. So this is happening, and it's happening now, right? Some features of Snapchat is posting photos, videos, filters, stickers, drawing. There's also Snapchat maps, which are a new thing where you can actually find out where other Snapchatters are. I don't know if they call themselves that, but Snapchatters are. You can actually see where they are in real time on a map. There's a lot of different feelings about that. From our marketing standpoint, it can be relatively remarkable. It integrates with Bitmoji. So if you're familiar with Bitmoji, have fun with that. It does integrate with that. So that's a neat thing. And you can also create your own geo filters. Now, this doesn't mean anything if you're not familiar with Snapchat yet, but the filters, those are kind of the fun things that go over your picture. And the geo filter means specifically location based. So if somebody is at your taco stand and it says, you can create a geo filter that says Tanya's taco stand. So when people are there, not only can they show a picture of my taco or whatever, but they can actually show, I can make a cute thing that's branded to me about my place. So this is fantastic for people with physical locations. It's just a great thing, and they don't cost anything. So doing some of the other filters, the larger ones that you may see, they do cost a pretty penny. So creating the geo filters is a great way to increase that presence, increase people to use something fun and show off your business for minimal cost, if nothing, depending on your design ability. So some benefits of being on Snapchat is that it's very fast-paced content. And due to the limited shelf life, posts can be really raw and simple. So unlike Instagram, where things can need to be, they're beautiful and they're curated and it takes a little effort. There's 15,000 different apps that you might use before you actually post your Instagram. Really, in Snapchat, no one expects that. It's kind of real raw and simple. Now, that doesn't mean it's lazy, but it's not, you don't have to work as hard. It's also great for access to VIP and exclusive content. So if you have something really special and you want to create some sort of exclusivity, Snapchat is a great place to do that. There's a huge built-in sense of urgency as well, given that all the content disappears in 24 hours. So that's a really great thing to do. And it's a fun way to engage with your audience. It's just a different thing, different style. It kind of shows that you're up to date with trends and what's going on. You're in touch. And it also helps you connect with an often difficult to reach demographic. They also have a new advertising platform, which I mentioned. Still kind of up in the air what people think about it. From what I understand, it can be a little cost restrictive. But again, if this is an audience that you need to target, if this is somewhere that you need to be, if your business can benefit from this type of, quickly digestive sense of urgency, then this is the place for you. Like it or not, guys, Snapchat is your new home. So again, check out those best tips and practices there on the right, and welcome to Snapchat. Honestly, it can be a lot of fun. I love those filters. So fun fact, there are over 400 million Snapchat stories created every day. It's a lot of Snapchat stories. So what do we got next? Instagram. If you stick around in the Biz Builders group, you guys have heard a lot about Instagram. I kind of gone on an Instagram kick for the last month, but I like them all. I'm going to go on a different kick every month, but Instagram has been a lot of fun for me. It's been just great, seeing our following grow and getting to know more people. And I'm really, really starting to enjoy it. It has its own things. It's a learning curve as well, but it's been fun. So who's using it? Well, the main age median is 18 to 29. Now, again, you'll see there's a lot of statistics in there. There are a lot of other ages. Big majority is female, all those things. But the median age is 18 to 29, okay? And 80% of those are actually from outside the U.S. And I love that. For me personally, I do get a large international following, and that's a lot of fun for me since I am traveling and I do the digital nomad lifestyle. It's really great to be able to connect to that global audience and really quite easily. It says 600 million, guys. I just made these slides like a couple of days ago, and there's actually 700 million now. 700 million monthly active users just as of recently. So what's the main purpose? Main purpose of Instagram is for photo sharing, a great place for visual marketing. So if you have something that really benefits from photos and color and just fun or whatnot, visual marketing, this is a fantastic place to be. Just like Snapchat, really. But if you notice, just the demographics shifted a little bit. So again, you have that real visual part. But unlike Snapchat, not everything disappears in 24 hours. Also a great place to really visually create that brand identity. So what are some of the features of Snapchat? Well, it's single and multiple photo sharing, right? So it used to be just the single one photo. That's all you had. Well, they just recently added that you can do 10 photos at a time. It doesn't mean you need to, but it is still not your 40 photos or 175 photos of your vacation that's allowed on Facebook. This is still just your single or your 10. You can also do photo layout. So if you do want to squeeze a couple of photos into just that one single post, Instagram actually has its own app called Layout. And then there, of course, are a bazillion other apps out there that you can also create your own layouts. Instagram also has 24-hour stories. So stories that disappear in 24 hours after posting, this is also happening. So if you've noticed, now we have those on Facebook, Snapchat, and Instagram. So there is some trend there, guys. Pay attention. People are really starting to watch people's stories. There's also Instagram Live. So that means that we are able to broadcast live, just like on Facebook. You can also post up videos, and they have some fun video things, which are just obviously your basic one, but they also have a boomerang and reverse. It's going to be too hard to explain that in just over this, guys. You have to go look at it. Just look at boomerang reverse. They're fun, kind of back and forth videos. They're like oddly mesmerizing, actually, and they get a lot of engagement. They also have photo stickers, drawing, text, and filters, and they're always adding new ones. And it supports videos. So 60 seconds for your regular posts and 15 seconds in your stories. And there's also direct message, which is like your messenger, and you can also direct message videos. So some benefits of using Instagram: very, very active engagement. I love how much people get in and they comment, they talk, and they tell you stuff, Sometimes on Facebook, you might not even hear anything from your friends, but something about Instagram platform, people are really open to engage. There's a lot of an emotional connection to the things that they like. If they like what you're posting, they're going to follow you. It doesn't have to be about you per se, but that emotional connection to your content is really strong. And the users are in a purchased mind frame, which is really unique. It doesn't mean that they just sell, don't go overboard. But on Facebook, there is a large resistance, right, to that. We're not necessarily there looking to purchase. But because a lot of people on Instagram are following brands, there's a lot more of a purchase mind frame to look at products and be interested and open to purchases on that platform. So as I mentioned, a lot of them are following brands, and good content over connection. So if they, again, like I said, if they like what you're posting, they're going to follow you. It doesn't matter if they don't know you. You don't do that on Facebook. Facebook, we don't really follow people we don't know. It's kind of weird. You don't friend people. But on Instagram, I don't care if I don't know you. If I like what you're posting, we're going to follow you. So again, you get a lot of followers that way if you're posting good stuff. The algorithm does still allow for your post to go to pretty much every follower. Now, they did just recently introduce some new algorithm things, and but it's not as restrictive as Facebook. So your posts still go out to everybody. There's just some different priorities that are happening now. It's kind of a new thing. It also has a great international reach, and the advertising platform is actually the same as Facebook. So that highly targeted, really in-depth advertising platform is the same availability. Still that learning curve again, guys. So we do have our campaigns and blueprints that we give out and the classes if they're needed. But again, it's amazing. It's worth it. The ROI is there. But yes, steep learning curve. So if this makes sense for you, this visual content, the ability to do live broadcasting, this particular demographic, then Instagram is your place. Welcome home. Instagram's your place. Check out those best tips and practices right there. Fun fact too, guys, over 40 billion photos have been shared on Instagram. Woo! 40 billion. That's a lot of photos. I'm going to take a sip of water real quick, guys. So look at this next one here. We have a Pinterest. This one, Pinterest, I'm telling you, is so underrated. I see a lot of people forget about it. But it really has to make sense for your business. And when it does, man, you can flourish here on Pinterest. So who's using it? 81%, guys. 81% are female. And the median age of Pinterest users is 40 years old. Now, a lot of active pinners, people who are on there really often, are actually below the age of 40. And let's be honest, a lot of people who are really active on social media in general are usually under 40, all right? But the median user who gets on there and is still doing stuff is still around 40. So if this is your demographic, pay close attention. There are 150 million monthly active users on Pinterest. And the main purpose, guys, I'm going to read what I have here, right? I'm going to read this first. Pinterest is a platform that allows users to share and save content to virtual collections called pin boards, also referred to as boards. But really, I think in even more simple terms than that, Pinterest is kind of like a search engine. You know, I'm looking for a recipe. So you can go to Pinterest and just type it in and get really targeted results and very visual results, as opposed to what you might get for that same recipe search on Google and a list of names of websites and perhaps a little bit of description. When you do it on Pinterest, you're going to get a lot of visual results really quickly, really easily. And then you click on it and you have your answer. So I really, I'd like you to shift your mind frame and to think about Pinterest as a search engine, really, to find almost anything. So some features there is that you can create themed boards based on your content or your products. So if your content, say, is travel blogging or your products are, necklaces, you can create a board based on that product. Or even what the product's made with. There's also social interaction. There's likes and comments, tagging. You can send pins and you can follow other people's boards and you can repin user content, send messages. There's also group boards. So when I did a lot of trade show marketing and stuff like that, I would be working with a team and we would gather a lot of our ideas for the booth or for the show into a group board that only those other users would see, because you can make it private, and we could be able to share ideas and comment and thoughts on our group board. So it's really helpful for something like that when you're working with a team and you need ideas. I actually did this even for a bachelorette party here for a friend that we were throwing. We wanted some ideas, and all the girls could pin different things, and we could chat about it. So it's really helpful. The other thing that's nice is that information is linked to outside sources. And what that means is if you already have some awesome blogs on your website, you don't need to go into Pinterest and recreate your blogs. You actually just create a pin for it and they click on that and it takes them to your content. So there's two things there. One, you don't have to recreate your content. And two, the users are used to being redirected. There's not like a freak out, like, oh my gosh, where's it taking me? I didn't want to leave Facebook. I didn't want to leave Snapchat. What's happening? No, we're used to it. It's okay. Take me away. I'm expecting to see your blog or your website. That's what we get. So it's a really great way to also drive some traffic, right? So some other features there are rich pins, native video, cinematic pins, and promoted video and app pins. I'm not going to go into all of that, but if this becomes your new home, you'll definitely be able to easily find some more information. These are some new things that Pinterest has just added as features. So some benefits, guys. It's also a visual platform, as I mentioned. Users are in a high state of action and a buying mind frame. Like I mentioned that on Instagram, they definitely are, but man, this kicks its butt. When you're there for ideas. You're looking what to buy for Timmy's birthday party. You're really when you find a great idea and it links to your product page to buy the balloons on your website, guess what? You're probably going to get that sale. So next, high conversion rates. Clearly high conversion rates because our mentality as users on Pinterest are very much in that action and buying mode. So even again, as I mentioned before, it drives traffic to your websites because you have inbound links. Users are looking for information and ideas. So if your business is based on information and ideas, this is your place. It's also a fantastic place to host guides, giveaways, if you have listicles, blogs, infographics. Great place to be able to share information like that, as long as it's very visual, for your pin. The pin needs to be visual. And it integrates with your website, Facebook, and Twitter. So again, guys, if these things make sense for you, if this is your demographic, then Pinterest is really your new home. And I'm going to suggest, actually, it just popped in my head, her name is Melanie Duncan. She's another marketer, and she really made her big splash through focusing on only Pinterest. She's been featured in Entrepreneur Magazine and some other things like that. So if this becomes your new home, while I would love and I hope that you still stay and visit with me, definitely check her out because she can show you the ropes of what she did with Pinterest. So fun fact is there are 75 billion ideas currently on Pinterest. That's a lot of ideas, guys. So make sure that yours is part of it. All right. And lastly, right with our less is more, Twitter. Most of us are very familiar with Twitter, and at the same time, a lot of us are still perplexed by what we are supposed to be doing on Twitter. That's one of the number one questions I get really often from entrepreneurs is, I have a Twitter account, and I'm not sure what to post on it. What the hell am I supposed to do? So, as we know, Twitter, less is more. So, who's using it? Well, you'll see right here, there's a wide range for their medium. If we just combine those two together, it's 18 to 49 years old. That's a lot. There are actually a lot of young users as well. So again, as always, there's numbers outside of this. This is just a big chunk. Okay, I don't even say majority. This is just a chunk. A large chunk are these ages. Okay, there are 328 million monthly active users on Twitter. And what's the main purpose? Conversation. Conversation is a big part of this. The chit chat, the back and forth, the commentary on whatever's going on. If you're unsure, I encourage you to go and just type in a Google search funny tweets and see the kind of stuff that people throw up on Twitter. It's not only is it hilarious, but it gives you an idea of some of the quick, simple, basic things that people are saying when they feel like going on and tweeting. It's also a place to share information. So I share links all the time. I share the stuff we're doing, comments, quotes, things that I see. It's definitely a place to share information. And also a great place for real-time updates and coverage, right? And remember, one of the number one features almost everyone's familiar with is that it's only 140 character limit. That's it. Very, very short and concise, guys. Some of the other things they have are social cards, which are great for businesses. You can learn more about that. It accepts up to 60 seconds of video. So a lot of people don't know that. You can actually put up a video on there. There is Twitter Live, too. So they've jumped on the broadcasting game. Guys, video is the future. I don't even know if it's future. It's now. So this live stuff is awesome stuff. So definitely get on that. Twitter chats are another great thing. It has a strong global presence, very strong teen presence, as I mentioned earlier. And for fun, it has a nice little built-in gift search. It may not seem that important, but it's a great way to kind of spice up your tweets, especially if you recall earlier, some of the recommended tweeting is almost up to 6 times a day. So a gift can kind of help break up the monotony and also maybe even tell more information than you're able to express in your 140 characters, right? So some benefits of being on Twitter is that it's fast and easily digestible content, right? Tweets don't require excessive curation. I mean, you only got 140 characters, and some of those are hashtags, right? It's very acceptable and easy to promote content from other platforms through Twitter. People aren't like getting weird, like, oh, what is that? Why did you post that? So it's a nice way to promote other content from your website or even Instagram and stuff like that. The ability to click to tweet. Now, you can see on there, it's in quotes, a click to tweet. It's an actual like plug-in type thing. So somebody can be reading your blog and you can leave an option there that says click to tweet, and they click that button and it generates a kind of pre-made tweet. Now they can adjust it and personalize it. But if you're like me, sometimes I really like the info. I want to share it, but I don't have time to put together a tweet. So if you made a tweet for me and I want to share your info, this is a match made in heaven. And guess what? I've just promoted your content, right? So this is a great, great option. It's also a really simple platform to provide customer service. If this does become your new home, look up some examples. You'll see a lot of big companies are using Twitter as a customer service platform. A lot can happen fast and in real-time way. It's just a great thing to do. It also has high promotion responses. We had great experience when we ran our Twitter ads. Really great engagement, lots of follows, lots of mentions. It was really, really fun. We got some of the target audience we were really looking for, and it was really, really simple to use. Super simple. I think our first ad, we spent $8 over the course of a week. So, I mean, you can't beat that, guys. With that kind of great engagement for $8, that it's awesome. So again, if this makes sense for you, if this demographic works for you, if this style makes sense for your business, then welcome home. Twitter is your place, right? Check out those best tips and practices right there. So, fun fact, 500 million tweets a day, guys. That's a lot of freaking tweets. So it is good to get good on your game because it's powerful, but there's a sea of tweeters, right? I don't know if that's but there's a sea of them. So of course, if this is your platform, this is why it's important to get really good in your home. This is really good to know it well and be awesome at it. Okay. So, that was a lot of information. I said it was going to get classy. I kept it classy. But, sometimes we got to get to the nitty gritty for it to make sense, right? So I hope some of those things have led you down a path, led you down something to make sense of what is actually best for your business. Now, there was a lot of statistics. There was a lot of numbers. There was a lot of things going on there. So go ahead and, feel free to jump in. Just type in buildabiz.net/cheat sheet, and you can actually download a nice infographic copy of all of those same details and information that we had on there. Okay. So again, that's buildabiz.net/cheat sheet. All right. So that kind of sums it up, guys. We had a great time. I gave you all that information so you can actually do less. So yeah. If you're not familiar already, or in case you forgot, these are the things that we do here at Build-A-Biz, or TanyaMFK. We do have our awesome Biz Builders group. It's free to join. We do live lessons like this that are in depth all the time. I do all kinds of stuff. I jump in there. I give opinions. I'm silly. I mean, we answer questions. We help you with your business and you get it all for free. So jump in there, be part of our group, get opinions from myself or others. Maybe you're not sure which logo looks best. Maybe you need a recommendation for which place to print your business cards at. Jump in. Ask me, ask the group. That's what we're there for. Okay. We also have mastermind groups. Super awesome. We get 5 groups of 5 people together and we work on our businesses. It's awesome. We get goals, accountability. I also do one-to-one private strategy coaching. So if you don't work well with others, or you actually just need some really detailed one-on-one work, I do work directly. There are very limited spots because I'm only one person and I'm going to give you the best. So I can't take too many people on. We do have a few spots available. We also have our Facebook and Instagram done for you ad campaign blueprint. So I mentioned those a few times there. That is when the whole campaign ad is done for you and handed over to you to use as many times as you like. It's actually very rare. Most agencies keep that information and charge you a monthly fee, but that's not how we do it. We also teach classes, have courses, and we also have our Build a Biz boot camps in exotic locations like Costa Rica, South America, Europe, where we build your entire business foundation in 8 days while relaxing on the beach. So anyway, that's just some of the things we do. And follow us. Follow us. Build a Biz is on Facebook. I'm on Facebook, TanyaMFK, Biz Builders Group, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. I know we're on a lot of social media networks, right? Like that's a lot of work. And I don't have a full team, but I'm doing pretty well at these. So, but if I'm not, tell me, and maybe I need to drop one. Okay. So maybe it's Twitter. I'm doing my best though, guys. I am too. But if you have any questions, please email me. It's directly to me, Tanya@buildabiz.net. Thank you. That was it, right? It's only like forever. Have a great day, guys. Do well, do less, get engagement, and I'll talk to you soon. Action August. Bye.